Hello there guys, this is Professor De here, and welcome back to another Chaos Galaxy video. Today, we'll be talking about a deck that should not exist right now. So this is a list for Policium. I really hoped I could do this with real life cards, but I can't really, so we'll be using untap.in today. But yeah, let's talk about Policium and why it's literally the most broken deck right now. Uh, so I lost to this deck. Well, not exactly this list. In fact, this was a secret list, with secrets list, which I won actually. But in general, Policium's just way too strong, and my deck was actually meant to counter Policium by using Bugong to get past the big creatures and Ice Elixir the big creatures. But even then, we all know that I really was complaining a lot while fighting the deck, so yeah. So let's get into it. So first of all, starting off, we obviously have the planet card Policium, which allows us to kill 2 creatures at any given time and play a creature for free. There is no once per turn effect, there's no only once, it happens whenever you have 2 small Policium creatures. In fact, this combos well with Duple Drop, which is the best Upal card in my opinion. Pretty sure it is for everyone's opinion, to be honest. Duple Drop has the ability to sacrifice itself and play a big creature for the cost of 2 stars. Now let's take a look at all the huge targets for this ability. So we obviously have Zetare Mental Losses, although not being able to be played with Relantis. This creature is a very high static creature, more towards the health side. A whopping 400 health allows this creature to not really be, it can't really be dealt with, especially due to the fact that its health is just super high. It's very hard to get past, and with the cards that are in meta right now, it's really difficult to get past 400 health, especially for Barrow. So Barrow loses to this 1 creature, and a lot of other small creature decks lose to this card. The only way to counter it is by removal or KO. Next card, same thing, Cabostrus, except it also has the ability to straight up remove and clear the board for you. This acts like a mini Palfam, but it can be continuously used, which makes it a little bit more powerful. Of course, it costs 1 extra star, but we'll actually see that this is not a downside. Now, next we're gonna skip past falls for now. Let's go to K.I.N.G. Nothing has to be said here. This was the most powerful card in the game at one point. I mean, now it isn't really, but with the new release, now it is again. Of course, 500 power gets past literally anything. The only thing that I can't really get past is Omnius the Planet Abomination, but to be honest, who even plays that card? But yeah, K.I.N.G, really powerful card, good, pretty high stats. Not the kind of stats you would really like because of 320 health. It can be destroyed by Pelfam, but now that Pelfam's limited to 1, that's not really gonna happen. Next, K.I.N.G of Policium, the second variation of K.I.N.G being a 500 power and 320 health. However, its ability gives it an additional 80 health if your planet card is Politium, which obviously it is, making it a 500 power and 400 health creature. Additionally, it's the only Chaos Beast that can be free played. However, it has to be done by the planet card Policium. This is a very strong card, and being able to pull it out with a Duple Drop makes it even stronger. It has the ability to fill up your board when it dies with your 2-star creatures, allowing you to set up for next turn or stall your opponent out. This is a very powerful card, and thank God it's limited to 1. Next is Pelfam. Pelfam doesn't need much introduction. It's a pretty card. We all know what it does. But yeah. Next is Great Serpent of the Falls, one of the most powerful creatures in Policium. Although it cannot be cosplayed, which is pretty fair. I don't know why I'm getting these, but I don't know. I think they might kick me out if I'm AFK. Well, let's ignore that for now. Let's talk. So, Great Serpent of the Falls has the ability to be free played by killing one of your Palifal's creatures. This is very powerful because you don't even need Double Chop to play this card. You can just play any of your Palifal's creatures, like Rowdy is a very common target for Palifals, and so is Blur. Not as common, but yeah, we'll go into that later. But Great Serpent of the Falls can be played by a single Palifals card or the planet card Policium. And if it is played by Palifals card, it will remove all abilities on the current. All currently zoned cards lose their abilities. What this means is that your ice elixirs are removed, your KOs are removed if you just KO a creature and you don't do anything about it. This is a really, really powerful card. It ruins permanent resource decks as well, which is just horrible because permanent resource decks are already down, like really, really down there. There's no point playing a permanent resource deck anymore because it takes up a zone and it's just not effective in such a high, in an activator and resource card sort of meta. So this card is the reason why I had the throwaway Trollogram. It's a very powerful card. It ruins your opponent, and it just sucks to see this card be played down. Plus, it is very easy to play and pull out, and the stats are way too insane. We see that it actually has a total of 900 power and health, which is actually way too high for an 8-star creature. Although it cannot be cosplayed, the chances are you're gonna free play it anyway, so this card is just way too good. It attacks for 5 points, it can't be killed at all, it's super difficult to kill. You need to use your removal cards, but even if you do, you'll see why this just sucks to play against. So double drop, like I explained earlier, just really good. Rowdy of the Palifals. This is the first Palifals card, and the reason why I say it'll be the biggest target for your Serpent of the Falls is because of its ability. So first of all, it's a 160-20, which is a pretty good stat for a 2-star creature. It allows you to play it, well, when it's played, you basically can attack for 2 points if you have nothing at all, which is pretty decent considering you're running so many of these sort of creatures, like super high attack creatures. So you attack twice with 2 Cranchons, and if they get removed, you attack twice with Zetare, and you can finish off with a Rowdy. That makes it really, actually pretty strong for being a 2-point attacker. Additionally, after this creature is killed by the ability of Policium or a Policium creature, which just so happens to be Great Serpent of the Falls, you gain 3 stars. This is way too powerful in my opinion. This card should not exist. I feel like the 3 stars should not be there. I think it would be an okay creature. Like I think it would be fine if it was just a 2-star 160-20 and a Palifals creature. That's it. The additional fact that you can gain 3 stars from it is just overkill, because you're already getting so much star advantage from playing cheating out your creatures. By gaining 3 stars, you have the possibility of buying more zones, playing a creature for its actual cost, and it's just way too powerful. This card is powerful by itself. However, I mean, Serpent of the Falls is the best card in this deck, but this card is still powerful nonetheless. Paju Pajuru, this is just a variation thing, and so is Tonix. So these cards can be swapped out. I've seen in Oddish, in Audicious fight, he did use another Pelifall creature. I believe it was Greel, but I forgot its ability. I can't really remember. I think it was something about like attachment. I really can't remember what it does, but these 4 cards are replaceable with other cards, so I won't really talk about them, but they're just there. I assume Secret wanted to have a stall card or a sort of backup Policium ability user, so and Tonic is a backup attacker. Blur of the Pelifalls. This is a decent card, but it does search out for your Rowdy of the Pelifalls, which is actually pretty strong, because if you don't have Serpent anymore, but you want to play out like a Crunch-on or something, you can play Blur, you can play Rowdy, and you essentially get your Crunch-on for 6 stars. That is really, really good, and plus, because of Rowdy, you actually get back 3 stars, so you're playing your Crunch-on for 3 stars. That's essentially a duple drop, like plus 1 star. So this is a very powerful ability for Policium, and yeah, it thins out your deck as well, so you can draw into your big creatures more often. This makes it very, very powerful, and I think the Pelifalls cards are just a little bit too overtuned in my opinion. Now let's talk about the resource and attachment cards. This is mainly what sort of makes the deck like a lot better than it should be. So Cosmic Treasure, initially some people might think that's not a good idea, but when you think about it, you're gonna be playing a double drop to play another big creature. This wastes 2 cards instead of 1, and this way you start to realize that you have less of an advantage. For those who play Policium without Cosmic Treasure, or just play Policium in general, if you have no card draw effects, you actually realize that you draw a lot less cards. So running, you have a lot less cards in your hand, so running Cosmic Treasure is very, very good, because you basically will almost always have less cards than your opponent, and even if you don't, you're probably like so ahead that there's no point playing this card anyway. Next is Galaxy Crash, stable card, so I don't need to talk about it. Phantasmal Spoons is also a stable card, so I won't talk about it. Phantom Matter as well. Now next, Warpole Jetpack. Now in my personal opinion, I like Warpole Jetpack. I just don't like it in this deck. I feel like Warpole Jetpack, with Warpole Jetpack, I really wanted to see decks that were janky. Like, I used to play this card with Gomp. So what you would do is you would play Gomp, and then you would, with this card, when Gomp gets removed, you can play Stekataka, and it was a really, really janky deck. But then at that point, Zach half banned the card, so I was kind of sad that I couldn't play my Gomp Chaos deck anymore. But then he brought it back again at the worst time possible. Now let's take a look at the big creatures. So Warpole Jetpack allows you to play, like, free play one of your killed creatures. And if you take a look here, all of the creatures here are all 8-star creatures. Great Serpent of the Falls is an 8-star creature as well, and it has the highest stats among all of these 8-star creatures. Not really, I mean, yeah, even surpassing Crunch-on actually. So Serpent of the Falls becomes so easy to play because of this card. What I think should have been done with Serpent of the Falls is a 9-star upgrade. I think a lot of people didn't actually talk about this card, because no one realized that Warpole Jetpack existed, because at that point everyone forgot about it because it was half banned. But after the unban, it started to become way too overpowered. So yeah, Warpole Jetpack's super good in this deck. You have so many huge targets for all of this. Again, I'm getting that notification, so I'm just gonna do stuff and make sure we don't suddenly get kicked out. Point Turret, stable card as well, I guess. If you're missing like 4 points or 3 points, which sometimes happens, this card will save you. just a really good card in general. Thank God it's half banned. Beast of the Black Hole, stable card as well, doesn't need much explanation. Planetary Field. At first I didn't know why Secret was running this card, but when you think about it, if you have like huge creatures already and your opponent can't deal with them, especially like when your opponent has like plays a KO next turn, and if you Planetary Field, stopping them from attacking, you can play Great Serpent of the Falls next turn with your Palifal's effect, and it will lose its ability, and your opponent's KO is wasted. They can't do anything about it, and yeah, this is a very powerful card because no matter what, whenever you Planetary Field something, you'll most likely gain the advantage because next turn you can attack with your huge creatures that your opponent has not attacked. So Planetary Field is a very strong card here. Next is Relihex Mine. I think this was just a deck thinner, so yeah. Now the next card is just literally, it's the worst card to ever be printed in this meta. We have Levitan Crown. I think this is a card that should just be banned. I think I do like the card. I will say it was an important card for Policium. I was excited for this card, but because of Whirlpool Jetpack, Levitan Crown is way too overpowered, and I think in general Levitan Crown is just way too overpowered. So it has the ability to cancel the ability if something's trying to target, like to cause your 8-star or 7-star creature to leave your planet. This means if your opponent's trying to Pelfam you, you can use this card to gain an advantage. If your opponent's trying to Galaxy Crash like 4 of your 8-star creatures, this ability just cancels that. This is such a powerful card, and probably a really, I think one of the like top 5 activators right now. It's just so good, and there's no reason not to play this card in Policium. Yeah, this card is just way too overpowered. I think it does deserve an outright ban because it's because of this card. No card in the no deck in the game can really defeat Policium if they're trying to remove it in any way. The only way you can beat Policium is by attacking, but let's be honest, where do all the best creatures come from? That's right, it's all from Policium. If you think about it, the high attack creatures all come from Policium. An exception would be Lava Behemoth, but you only have like 2 copies and you can't really recycle it because of, well, you can't play it like for free like Policium can. So honestly, the only way to counter Policium is to play Policium, and this sort of ruins the meta because you have no more variation in decks, and the meta just becomes so stale, which is what's currently happening right now. I think, if I'm not wrong, I'm the only one who's sort of I'm sort of shifting away from playing Policium. I try not to, like, if possible. I only play Policium if my opponent's playing Policium or trying to play very competitively. But yeah, I prefer playing my junky decks and trying to defeat these like tier 0 decks. So yeah, so in my opinion, what cards should be banned to keep Policium from being this powerful again? Well, first of all, Serpent of the Falls is a very huge problem. If you watched my Galaxy Madness 3 videos, you'll see me complain about Serpent of the Falls all the time. And you see me playing around Serpent of the Falls a lot because there is almost no way to counter this card. So yeah, another card would be to, I guess we don't really have a choice here, but we do have to ban Whirlpool Jetpack again. I think it's just a really bad time to be removing this card right now. I never expected Zach to remove this from the ban list, but yeah, he should put it back for sure. Another card he should have banned or fully banned would be Levitan Crown. I think this card is just way too powerful for the current meta. I think if he removes one Warpole Jetpack, we can still see this card being played. But yeah, I feel like even if he does do all of these bans, Policium will be in a little bit of a better spot. We do have Pentaplancher, but at least it's not as bad as this. So yeah. But yeah, Policium in general is just super strong right now. If you're not playing Policium, you sort of lose all the time. If you... Yeah, the meta just sucks right now. You'll see Policium decks floating all around, and in Fight Club you usually see people playing like... most people complain about Policium, so yeah. I do not recommend that you play this deck if you wanna well, be friendly. I think this deck does deserve some sort of community soft ban from upcoming tournaments or like friendly games in general. So yeah, yeah, that's the deck list for Policium. Yeah, the deck's just really powerful right now. There is almost no counter. I did see some people talking about Erratic Void, but Levitan Crown exists, so can't really do anything. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully Zach gets the message to ban, well, these cards right here. I think he should do a ban list like before the end of the year. He kinda has to, not kinda, he has to do this ban, cause Policium's way too strong. I think the biggest issue with Policium was bringing in the pallet falls though, so yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. For my next video, I'll be doing a pretty big announcement. I'll be hosting a tournament soon, so yeah, I'll talk more about it in another video, but just for a little bit of a gist of what's gonna happen. I'm planning to host an IRL tournament by using your webcam, or if possible maybe host it at a venue, but we'll see about it. I'm still currently taking a look at how I'm gonna host it and stuff, so if you guys have any suggestions, just leave a comment down below. And yeah, but yeah, that's just a little bit of a short announcement there at the end of this video. So if you stay till the end, you get that small announcement. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment on Zach's latest ban list video to remove Policium from the map. Alright, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.